everybody doing today? God damn. Y'all saw that? It just went right through the trucks and now I have to turn on it. Alright, well that's lesson right one. So this cracked when that happened.
How's everybody doing today? What's up? What's up?
I'm a glass blower. This is borosilicate COE33. I really just want to make sure that's melted in. the way, I appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, follow. Glass blower. This is borosilicate COE 33. I don't want my calipers to be cold and the glass to be hot, so I don't want my calipers to crack the glass. So it means the minimum threshold now can surpass the max. The minimum is 41.6 millimeters, the max is 42 millimeters. Needs to shrink down a little bit. Essentially, I'm just paddling a little bit flatter while it's spinning against it to push it a little bit. Right? Smash some buttons if the view is good. Let me know if the view sucks, if you love the video. I really appreciate the interactions. It helps make me more valuable, I guess, to advertisers. Still too big. So this is going to be a Puffco peak topper. It's also going to fit the Bob Scott Artificial. Alright, so you can see. If it has a mold, I don't have it, I don't know how to use it, and I kind of like it. I kind of like doing it. Now making sure everything is really good and custom. I'm a glass blower. This is borosilicate COE 33, and I am making a glass keyring topper. Right now, I'm trying to make sure the dimensions are not too big and they are too big. has a ways to go. Are you really tired right now? I am very tired right now. I do not know why I'm awake. Do you mean to be awake right now, or you can't? Or is it you can just fall back to sleep? It's kind of like screw it. Sorry. If you got a bird, feel free. I don't judge. I won't judge you. I am just confirming that it's alright. And now I'm popping the air intake hole. Appreciate y'all liking, subscribing, following, doing some engagement in the comments. Drop comments, smash some emojis for me. Follow me, please. Popping the hole, but I still want it to be flat on bottom.
stopping that air intake hole caused any stress in the rest of this area. I just want to flame polish that away. I'm melting, heating the stress away, if there is any. And I'm also keeping it a consistent temperature. I really don't want parts to get a lot colder than other parts that are warm. Those inconsistencies can cause this to crack. Wax I'm using. Also, how's everybody doing this morning? Do you need to be up? Are you up by accident and you couldn't fall back to sleep? Are you up for work? How's everybody doing today? Like my power stands. Perfecto. One more time to try to get out any residual stress that happened when I was paddling this bottom flat. Also to make sure when I put it in the oven, everything on the bottom is a consistent temperature. And then I'm going to just make sure this is flat by this area where I was just using the tungsten. It still has to be flat when it sits in the rice. Alright. Just one more time because I have OCD with it. Now I have it in my oven. I'm not putting it on like the floor of the oven yet because I just want the temperature of the glass to kind of get to now the same temperature as the oven. I know I keep talking about consistent temperatures. How's everybody doing today? This morning? What up, what up, what up? My name is Zach. I'm a glass blower. This is borosilicate COE 33. This is not the same type of glass you saw in Blown Away, that Netflix show. Right now, you're going to see me prep another base for a future topper, transparent light blue base. Hope everybody's doing well today. Appreciate y'all liking, subscribing, following.
checking out my other videos. Turns out if you smash a bunch of buttons, like you smash those emojis, it makes the reel more valuable for advertisers. So I appreciate y'all helping me make this page valuable, helping me monetize. Maybe I could set up a place we could all kick it in Virginia or DC. DC would probably be more fun for everybody, to be honest. So if I could save up enough money doing this, I'll set up a spot, we could all kick it, you know, and if we make enough money, do it all for free. I like the idea of mutual growth and community, and you know. Sound off real quick. Have you ever seen anything like this before? Yo, I'm just saying, I've been doing this for like 10 years. I know y'all are not familiar with this. Probably have never been in a glass blowing studio before. I'm very safe with what I do. Take precautions. I'm not wearing a loose. I don't know how it looks in the camera, but this is not a loose fitting hoodie. And if I ever felt like it was in the way of my vision or I might be close to something, I would just take my hoodie down. You know what I mean? I'm not interested in getting injured. So a lot of y'all are just being negative Nancy's. Alright? Yeah, long hair, no bueno. The most dangerous thing that's likely to happen for this is if you accidentally burn yourself picking up a hot piece of glass. You know, like you brush your hand against one of the hot torches, or, and I'll take the phone down and show you. Right? So we're talking about things that have actually happened to me. Like you're more likely cutting your hands, scoring and snapping glass than you are with anything happening on the lathe. Like honestly. So that knob right there, that opens and closes the chucks. If you're working something like really close, right, and there's like no tolerance and your torch is like right there, I've had this part like hit my knuckle before, right? Hurts like a mother, but you don't break anything. It's like you just got smacked really hard. And that's like really like the most likely thing to happen if you're not paying attention. Like the rest of all of that is kind of just non-applicable nonsense, at least for this. So don't be a hater. But I do also appreciate the concern. Let me rephrase that. I appreciate the love and concern, yo. Shout out to those people who just want me to be all right and want to see me be okay. Appreciate y'all. So one of the other things I'm doing right now is I'm cleaning the tube, there's like a bunch of dirt inside of that glass tube. You can start to see it a little bit, right? So I'm gonna get it red hot and kind of clean it. And then I'm gonna attach that rod to that tube. And then I'm gonna push a bump like right there. And then I'm gonna attach the rest and basically do the process that y'all might have just missed. So you were talking about if I had any toppers on deck. Yes, I do. This is what I've been making bases for. So this is one of the ones we made on the live the other day. I still have to bend the neck on this. I was gonna do that earlier, I guess, but so this base, so you see this part right here? That part I'm touching? That base is what I'm gonna be making right there. That bottom part, that bump. And then what I would do is I would take another section and I would weld that section to that piece, tear it away to the side, and then work on the intake. I don't know if y'all saw me just now put that piece together. Let me know in the comment section. Did y'all see that? Here, let me put this back up. I don't want anybody to get dizzy while I'm talking to you, and this way I could get back to working on this. Good morning, everybody. If it's morning for you, I don't know why you're awake. I wish I wasn't. Might go back to sleep soon. Who knows? What time is it by you? It's almost 4 a.m. by me right now. Nuts. Nuts. Alright. Please like, subscribe, follow me, smash some buttons and whatnot. I am making a base for an E-rig topper. And then maybe if there's enough people still in the chat, I'll show you how I do a color rod blowout. So what a rod blowout is. So what a rod blowout is, this topper right here, this tube section, started off as this rod. So I turned this rod into this tube. So this white turns into, this is called secret white, but it looks kind of blue in this, right? So I have a transparent black base, secret white rod blowout, handmade by me, transparent light blue mouthpiece that I bent backwards, and this is the Bomb Skylight Official. So that also fits the Pro models. Let me know, do you partake? Is that something you partake in? Is that like, you know, that and some coffee in the morning gets your day started type of a thing? Alright, this is almost good to, almost ready to start, y'all. I appreciate y'all rocking with me this morning. Alright, people asked, I am using propane and oxygen. Have you seen my setup before? Like, are you joining for the first time, or should I do a studio tour? Let me know real quick while I'm loading this up. Studio tour or not? I'll check the comments in the section. Do this off camera, unfortunately, for monetization policies. So that's the other reason I appreciate all of y'all tapping in and helping me monetize these live streams. So where are you guys coming from today? How's everybody doing this morning? Where are y'all coming from? I'm in Virginia, and if y'all watch enough ads on this, I guess, or whatever, you know, and I can make some money doing this, one of my goals is to open up a spot in like DC or Virginia where we could all like come kick it. I'll have like do like the glass blowing studio, do like free lessons and stuff like that, have some like community events. I feel like that'd be really dope. Also, I'm pretty tapped in the community. Are you familiar? I know this sounds like really horrible. Do you know who I am in the industry? Alright, y'all. Cheers. Hope everybody's doing good today so far. Why are you awake right now? Are you crazy? Are you crazy, bro? Why are we awake right now? It's 4 in the morning. Is it better out like that, or do you like it in a little bit more? Dude, I didn't even think about pinning messages. Good call. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I appreciate the feedback and the advice. I'm only a week into this yet. Alright, oh god damn, just tripped on that. So, let's pretend like we're doing a studio tour right now, right? So, we're coming in, we're getting some coffee, shutting this. I turn on my propane griller, could last like a few days to 2 weeks. Turn on my oven, that's the topper we just made earlier. I turn on my oxygen, right? And I have my setup right here. This is a glass blowing lathe. I'm also really tired, so if I like fumble, sorry with my words. Then over here, in this tent, what do you think is in this tent? Guess. 30 seconds, what do you think this is in this tent? While I have a sip of coffee. Appreciate y'all liking and subscribing, by the way. Showing me some love, hitting me with some emojis, you know. Alright, so you ready to see what's in the tent? It is not, and I repeat, it is not shrubbery. It's not some foliage up in this. We don't have broccoli. Boom. P1S Bamboo Labs 3D printer with a Tapo camera mod because the stock camera kind of sucks and it lags. And this is like 20-30 bucks on Amazon, and it comes with like that app you could monitor for free. And if I'm working with toxic fumes, right, I have the carbon air filter with the inline fan. Excuse me. Vents out to my made hood that I use for my glass blowing. And you know, my oxygen concentrators, excuse me. So oxygen is like 10 to 15 cents to fill up, and I might fill up twice a day. So maybe it's like 30 cents a day. Propane, that company Cinch delivers propane right to your door, so they'll do swaps, so you don't have to go drive, waste gas, all that. And it's like 26 bucks a fill. And that could last, you know, from like 5 days to 2+ weeks. So when you break down like how many things you're making, you know, in that time, like this is the one that we made on live the other day. No idea, hold up, let me zoom out a little bit. We have a bunch. I really like this one a lot. Let me know what you think. Do you like the... This one is experimental moist raspberry over icy white satin, and it's UV reactive. Alright. Tomorrow or later today, I'm going to be making some other new stuff too. So if you want to see me making ball caps, I'm going to make some opal trap caps. So if you know what an opal is, you're going to see me trap some opals in glass, which is pretty neat. Alright, you guys like it out more. That's right. I don't think y'all really understand how this machine operates. people that keep making the hoodie comments. This isn't those machines. There is nothing to pull anything besides those little knobs right there. And they're not pulling anything. The only thing that they would do is like punch my knuckle if my hand got too close. The real things that are gonna happen is like if I like drop this torch, you know what I mean? Or if I'm not paying attention and after I was picking something hot, like I touched the end of that glass because I wasn't paying attention. But the machine, this machine isn't like your machine, you know? So calm down, relax, enjoy yourself. Maybe you need to smoke it, you know? Take a chill pill. Push, 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 push. 2-stage. Push. Alright, we got our bump. Y'all are crazy. There is nothing to get caught. Oh my god. Seriously, y'all are wilding. Anyway, back to the glass. That's the bump we just pushed. So you saw me attach that rod to that, so I was able to push it, right? And now it's like that rounded bump. Smash some thumbs for me if you like that rounded bump. Well, that's too bad, y'all, because I'm about to square that off. So what I'm gonna be doing is, you see this torch right here? Let me know if you've never seen something like this before. This is a GTT Mirage hand torch, right? Sorry. So these first row of knobs are for the first stage. So this is the first stage. These knobs are for the second stage. This is the second stage. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 1, stage 2. Smash some buttons, follow me, like if you think that's kind of cool. So this knob right here, right? Let's reset. So this knob right here is propane. This knob right here is the main oxygen, which I like to have cracked. So you see how it made it so the flame was kind of just floating and now it's connected back towards the torch, right? So that's that flame. This middle flame sharpens the oxygen, right? So we have this, boom. Sharpens the flame. And then it's the same exact thing, but for those knobs. Smash some buttons if you think that's kind of cool. If you think it looks like Star Wars. Let me know how y'all are feeling tonight. Let me know what's up. So basically, right, this one is going to be pointed down. This one is going to be coming from up top. And with the centrifugal force, the speed, rotation, all I'm going to be doing is holding my paddle there. And I'm going to doop, boop, side to flat, side to flat, side to flat. And that is how I'm gonna square that off without causing any stress, right? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick away that front side, like everything to the right of that bump, and that is gonna be our prepped base for the e-rig topper. Y'all seem to be super sour this morning. It's okay, I know y'all are concerned because y'all love me. But at least it's gotten you talking to each other in the comment section. Seems like y'all are bonding over it a little bit, some of y'all. All love, man. For people saying gas being wasted, think about how much money I make off of every one of these things that I'm making, right? And how many of these things I can make in a day. Now, I'm telling you, this one little $26 tank of propane can last me 2 weeks sometimes. So expense that out, do the number on that. How expensive is gas that you can expense if you created an LLC for yourself, delivered right to your door? You know what I mean? So side, side, flat, side, flat, side, flat. Polish in case that caused any stress. Yeah, but it's also making money. Invest in yourself, bro. I want to thicken this up a little bit actually. Alright, so you see where my hand is right now? With this wheel on the side? That's what I meant by, you know, getting smacked by that little cock right there. That is like the most dangerous thing in regards to interacting with this lathe. Like if I had hair down to my butt cheeks and I was leaning over, you know, and this was spinning, like maybe, I guess. This also isn't baggy clothing. And if you think it kind of looks like it is, then I guess it's your the camera angle. No, oh, or here's another one. See where that is right there? I have excellent situational awareness because I've been doing this for a very long time. But that would be another thing. Like, let's say I leaned in and I touched my sweatshirt or something like that. It's one of the reasons I don't ever wear short sleeves. Like when I'm working. Well, actually, that's not true. That's definitely not true. I definitely wear short sleeves. But that is like 10 years, not 10. But those would be the things. If you didn't know, now you do know. Warming up the graphite paddle because I don't want that hot glass to kind of stick to it and create marks. I just want to be able to paddle this flat a little bit. I'm not even really pushing, I'm just kind of holding the paddle still there. Alright, let me show y'all what I just did. What we just did together. Smash some buttons for me. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. You know what else is a mistake some glass blowers do? So, it's like, so when I use the glass to pick at this, right? But I also am a glass blower, so I have my blow hose and I'm like pumping into things. Sometimes, or like something that I've seen a glass blower do before is they accidentally take their hot punty and they think it's their mouthpiece. They put that in their mouth. This is technically scientific glass. I mean, I could show y'all my little chest of joints and some of the other stuff that I've made, but this is essentially scientific glass blowing. This is borosilicate COE 33. This is not like the Netflix blown away series soft glass. This would be laboratory glass. Squared off Maria, that's the bump. Flat, flush. So what we'll do is we're gonna pick a hole in the center, and then what I would do is I would take like a prepped section, right? So we take this right here, I would stick this in this side of the chuck, and I would pop a hole on this end, and then we would assemble, we would weld these two together. And then I would tear this away from this side, right? So now you have the attachment, and then I pop the intake hole on that end, and that's how we have like the E-rig topper. So let me do this right now. Let me put this back up. So y'all see the setup? Let me know if you haven't seen the setup yet. I'll do a little tour right quick. Hold up. So let's say you're me, we're together, you're coming to blow glass, you're me in the morning, you open the garage door, you walk down, you know, let's say you already made your coffee, it's in there, you grab it, you come over, you turn your propane griller on, right, set the PSI to 10. All right, turn on the oven, come over, flip on the oxygen, boom. This is the glass blowing lathe. My GTT Mirage, that's the big torch. My Bunsen burner, my National hand torch. This is stage 1, that's stage 2. Stage 1, stage 2. Let me know what y'all think. Smash some thumbs for me, dude. It's 4:25. Why are we all awake right now? If you're awake and we're hanging out together, you must not be at work, is what I'm thinking. What are y'all up to right now? Boom, clean as. What up? What up, what up? Yeah, nah, those are trolls, dude. I've been in High Times magazine twice. I pretty much kickstarted the aftermarket industry for e-rigs. I co-created the glow stick heating element for Indux Labs called the glow stick. When it comes to like the Cana community and the e-rig space, I am like the OG, I guess, like humbly speaking. I made the first aftermarket e-rig stabilizer bases, tethers, dry toppers, whip connects, carb caps, ball caps. Like I could keep going, you know what I mean? And everything I do has been like really simple, affordable products that just improve the consumption experience for whatever device I'm working with. And I've worked with several of these companies directly as well. Like one of my longer standing relationships is with the Focus V Carta company. They're actually distributors of mine as well. They're like a little conglomerate and they have a distribution side also. One of my ball caps was included as like the stock piece for a while with one of these devices that came out. It was called the Noom, N-O-O-M. So like if this is the Puffco, it was kind of just like a worse version of this. So that's the base we just prepped, right? So that is the base for the fitting. We would take another section and we would weld it to this section. And then, you know what I mean? Bend the neck on that. So tomorrow, I'm kind of tired. Later today or tomorrow, you could watch me bend the neck on one of these sippers. Appreciate y'all. Like banger adapters for these things, you know? We were talking about scientific glass blowing. German joints, bro. This is scientific glass blowing. Like, what do you think an ash catcher is? Look at this. Like, what do you think an ash catcher is, bro? Scientific tubing, male joints. That's a doer. So what's a doer? This is a doer. So I'm melting like that in the tube. That's an ash catcher, bro. You know what I mean? This is all scientific glass. And whatever anybody talks about like crack or meth, what money is there in that in glass? That's like China import glass. Smoke shops, 99% of smoke shops carry import glass tubing. So if you want to make money as a glass blower in that space, a big part of it is like marketing and brand awareness. So like for me, I kickstarted a lot of stuff. So I have that OG brand. On top of that, I release innovative products that improve the functionality of those devices in unique ways, you know? So like I introduce original concepts consistently multiple times every single year. That's how I got into high times twice the first 2 years I started doing this. And what I'm focusing on now, hopefully, is like monetizing this page, you know, making some good money doing that, and then also selling more artistic pieces. My Instagram had around 48,000 followers on it before it got disabled. I'm fighting to get that back. My backups at Zach Harrison Designs has like a little over 80, 200, something like that, I think. And that's not like a look at me, these are numbers. Just that this is not like some crack meth pipe thing. This is like glass art and scientific glass blowing type of a thing. And the next thing I want to make that is going to be on my list is, some of these people have more money, I guarantee you, than you have like seen in your lifetime. Honestly, some of these pieces are over $100,000, dog. And I know we're trolling and it's fun, but I'm just saying for everybody who isn't aware in the comment section, this is like elite, upper echelon. Most people can't afford these. That's why glass blowers, most people can't be in business doing this and they wind up quitting. So it's really like that. Or you're competing with import smoke shops and you cannot compete with Chinese import pricing, you know? So seriously, go on Instagram, type in Puffco and like look at like the hashtag or whatever and look at the expensive pieces or Focus V Carta. I actually have started posting in my shorts some of these pieces that other glass blowers make that go for tons of money. I don't do sculpture, like super artistic stuff yet. I'm just getting into making the hand color like rod blowouts, you know? Like this was handmade color that I made by hand. Those secret white blowouts over there were colors I made by hand. So it's like I'm trying to step up that game because I had the concepts game down. No, I mean, it's not at all. It depends. Dude, I should probably do a reel on navigating the industry. It really is like a complex. There's layers to everything, you know, and there's like a funnel effect. It's not just any one thing. You need to do the influencers, the concepts, you know, the clickbait type stuff. You need to go to the show. I mean, you don't even need to go to the shows anymore, but unless you have serious numbers for retail, you are trying to work with shops that are willing to pay wholesale sales in advance. You know, like that's how a lot of glass blowers live, is by getting those advanced sales with like wholesale sales. So you're willing to take like huge cuts on whatever it is, whether it be like 50 to 70%, you know, if you're doing distribution, to get that advance money basically.
So the goal really is everybody wants to sell, you know, that $1,000 heady piece. You know, make one piece a month or something like that. Well, I mean, like that would obviously not be worth at $12,000 a piece, but you get what I'm saying. Yo, Chocolate Thunder is wildin', bro. God damn, dog. You're crazy, bro. A lot of energy for 4:37 a.m.
No, and I'm letting you ride with it also, dog. No, hey, whatever you're doing you right now, it's kind of like whack a little bit, but whatever. But if I see that the YouTube monetization or whatever gets screwed up because you keep talking about crack and meth, then I'll probably have to delete the comments because obviously I want to be monetized. You know, can't knock me for that. Did you see that? I honestly did not expect there to be that much condensation. I just did not even think about that. Dude, what the...
Did you hear that sizzle and see this whole thing crack? There was condensation, like a ton of it. You see how wet that is? Dude, hold on, this is... busted just like that. There was a ridiculous amount of condensation in the back, and when I took it out and I tilted it forward, It was like it got splashed with water. And it wound up cracking it. So I hope y'all just learned a lesson right there. Even though the water was warm too, when you're working on these tubes, heat, air, condensation, if I had just kept it straight, it wouldn't have been an issue, but all of that just poured to the top of it. Maybe that's a sign we all just, kick it for tonight and like, goddamn, go to sleep, yeah, for real. Joe. That's crazy. Yeah, the condensation. That was really hot. Like, that glass was unbelievably hot. And the water was probably cooler, like, I don't know, maybe closer to room temperature. So it's like, if you have, that's what did it. Damn. Damn. Maybe that'll make a cool highlight reel or something. No, this is not getting fixed. That is not getting fixed. You can see it's still dripping out. Freaking nastiness. Nah, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna wind up putting my bunts into this tomorrow or later today, and you're just gonna see that pop off. Like, this is just gonna break. That's what's gonna happen. And when it's done breaking, I'm gonna melt the ever-living out of the end of that, and I'm gonna collapse the tubing, and I'm pretty much gonna start over again. Not that big a deal. So, like, let's say an inch or two to the left of that crack is where I'm gonna be tearing that away from, and it's gonna be like it never happened. Just kind of like, a waste of a little section. But at the end of the day, whatever, bro. I have plenty of sections. I have tubing ready to rip down here. In fact, that transparent light blue, I have another 4-foot section right there. So it's Gucci. What time am I gonna go live? I don't know. Honestly, the best times I found is between like 2 and 4 o'clock. Like, the numbers crush, which is dope. Silvered glass? Silver glass with minerals in it and silvers. Here, check this one out. I did this one on live yesterday. How do you like that? That's triple passion. So this was also a rod. I did a color blowout. I know the zoom kind of sucks, but there's like, this is actually really like purple and blue. I know it's hard to tell, but this color in person is sick. This is a striking color. See, like, that's what I'm saying. I've only been using like import stock tubing sizes. So I'm really just starting to like make my own handmade color tubing. Like, this is another one I did. This is dense opal amethyst, which is like a cool purplish, like blue see-through. I made my sister like a shot glass with this color, so I want to start making like cups and wine glasses and like things that have nothing to do with the cannon industry. Like, I feel that for real, even though like you've been busting my chops, like I do also kind of feel that a little bit. Make things that maybe I could, like, you could watch me make it live, and that will make it more valuable. This is another one we did on the live the other day doing the blowout. It's one rod, but look at all those colors that come out of it. So that was crazy, dog. Dang. All right, welcome back, dude. Okay. So let's say sometime between like, honestly, I have no idea what just happened. I'm surprised I got back. I was like, dude, did this whole thing just get deleted and go away? But yeah, so let's do some color rod blowouts later. Let's do an opal trap. I'll show y'all how so I don't know if you know what an opal is. Hold on. Here we go. You know what an opal is? It's like a gem that shines and glistens and like sparkles in the light. I can show y'all how I encase this in glass to make like a cool little carb cap. Call it the opal trap lock. Yo, can you hear me? Oh, it is working? Alright, well, if it is working. Alright, dope. Yeah, no, dude, they definitely just dropped the ball. Yeah, dude, no, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all tapping in with me, you know, smashing buttons and all of that, whatever. Kicking it in the chats. I think today, let's say sometime between like 1, because I'm gonna go to sleep, dude. It's like what, 4:47 a.m. I'm probably gonna have like a sesh real quick and go to sleep. So let's say between like 2 and 4 p.m. is gonna be the next live. So we'll do like bending the necks, you know, on these sippers, because we have the 2 that are made already. We'll do a color rod blowout, and I have a couple of bases already prepped, so I could show y'all another like video of the assembly. We could do the opal trap locks. You know, if you go on my website, you know, just to see what you want to see me make, to see how you make that stuff, let me know, y'all. Well, right now I have a 30% off sale going on my website. So, the handmade American color headies are from 100 to 150 retail, and I always kick in something extra. So I'd probably kick in a ball cap. The ball caps retail for 40 bucks. So, and then I have a 30% sale going on. Anyway, bro, I appreciate y'all. I'm out for tonight. I'll tap in with y'all a little bit later today.